Good morning and welcome back to another weekly vlog. I'm going to put that in massive air quotes because I am kicking this vlog off on Wednesday. So let me fill you in on the last couple of days. If you didn't watch last week's vlog, I got a new camera, which I figured out the yellowness, yay, but I'm still very much struggling with the keeping myself centered because the camera lens is off center of the actual camera. So keeping myself centered is really difficult. But yay for fixing the yellowness. And so far so good. Everything is working. I mentioned that this camera is much less expensive than any camera I've ever used for vlogging, including my phone. But I'm working on simplifying things, and I was in a time crunch when it came to picking it out. But we'll see how this week's weekly vlog goes, in quotes, because like I said, it is Wednesday. So I was out of town over the weekend. I talked about prepping for that in last week's vlog. Every year, for most years, my dad and I finally went through and did some math. It was technically our 9th trip together. I've been graduated from college. This was the 13th possible year that we could have gone since I've graduated, but I've missed 2 for weddings, people that have gotten married the weekend of the game, 1 in 2020, and then in 2023 when my daughter was born. She was, a month old. So we didn't make it to that game. Anyways, sorry, Charlie was distracting me. We will see what this trip looks like going forward. My dad and I were talking about it because it's one thing for, my husband to take over for the weekend for our one daughter, especially this year. I mean, she's 2, and that comes with a whole different set of complications. And even last year when she was 1, I mean, it was different than when she's a baby, right? We never had to navigate it where I was leaving, our son will be in the 5, 6, 7 month range, depending on, when he comes. So that's a very different baby to leave, and baby and a toddler combined. So we'll see what the future of our trip holds. But it would have been really cool if this was the 10th one to celebrate that as potentially the last one. That's maybe just the 2 of us. We'll see. But regardless, we had a fantastic weekend. We always try to go out for a steak dinner, which is a tradition that started the very first year. So the very first year we went was 2013, and Texas was unranked. Oklahoma was number 5 or something. And we very much thought we were going into this game and we were going to get slaughtered. And Texas pulled out in an insane upset, and it was amazing. So we went out to a steak dinner to celebrate Texas's amazing win. And then it just became tradition where we go and we get a steak dinner one of the nights that we're there. And so we decided when the game is later in the afternoon, we typically do our nice dinner on Friday night because it's just easier. When the game is at 11 in the morning, it's more reasonable to do a dinner the day of the game. Anyway, sorry, I feel like I'm going into so many details. Also, if you've never seen any pictures, if you're not a college football fan, the other big unique thing about this football game is that the game is played on a neutral field. It's played at the Cotton Bowl, which is a stadium that is, I think it's within 10 miles, almost exactly halfway between the 2 schools, and which is kind of epic. And so it's literally half orange, half red. It's so cool. And then it is also smack dab in the middle of the state fairgrounds. And so the game is always, even though most major rivalries are played the week of Thanksgiving, and we have a secondary rivalry that we play that week too, but we play it in October because it's in the middle of the state fair. So you get there before the game and you're literally at the fair. So we got a corn dog, we went to the tailgate. Some years we've ridden rides, we played games, and then afterwards, again, you're back at the fair. So we got some dessert and treats and whatnot. So super fun weekend with my dad. But then when I got home, I just felt like when you're gone for a weekend and you don't get to do all of your regular weekend stuff. And so that first day back, you just kind of feel like you're treading water to try and play catch up. So that's how I felt on Monday. And it didn't help that my mom, who typically watches my daughter on Mondays, is also out of town. And she's gone for 2 weeks. So she'll be gone next week as well. And so not only am I feeling like I'm trying to play catch up, but then I also have my daughter with me the whole day. And so I'm trying to unpack while I've got her. And they started work on the basement on Monday. So in last week's vlog, I talked about, and I showed the before of our basement, and they started work. I will show you an update at some point in this vlog. It's exciting. They have been here 2 days, and they have made so much progress, and I'm so pumped. They said a 3 to 5 week total timeline. I'm just like shocked how much progress they've made in 2 days. So that has been another layer of complication on our whole like, week, because there is just so much stuff in our house, like extra stuff and stuff in places that it doesn't belong to make space for this project. And it is like, I'm having slight regrets about trying to host a party next weekend. Like, why are we hosting a Halloween party next weekend? I don't know. What may have to happen is we may not have people in the basement, now that I'm like thinking about this out loud. So when we had the housewarming party, it was 90 something degrees outside that day. So people couldn't be outside. It is, I mean, I guess unless it rains, weather pending. I'm thinking out loud. I'm processing this while I'm talking to you. And this vlog will go live like the Monday after the Halloween party. So I will have to, like, this decision will already have existed. But like right now, I know it's really far out, right? It's 11 days away. The high is 65 and sunny and no rain. If the weather holds, I may, also what I was going to say is we don't have near as many, not only was it 90 degrees, we don't have near as many people RSVP'd for the Halloween party as we did for the housewarming. People were just a lot busier, I think, in the fall than they were in the middle of June, which is fine. Like, we invited the same number of people, we invited all the same people, but there's way less people coming. So I think maybe we keep it on the first floor and outside and not try to deal with the basement. And then I won't feel as stressed about the status of the basement down there. And the extra stuff that's all on the first floor right now that stressed me out, I can just put it all in the basement party day. Okay, that's next week Laken's problem, because this week Laken, so then yesterday I didn't feel well. I woke up feeling like absolute garbage. I don't think I'm actually sick because I feel fine today. I think it was just a rough pregnancy day. I don't know. I'm 20 weeks this week. I'm halfway. We have our anatomy scan tomorrow, so that's exciting. I'm just giddy. I'm so excited. It's actually the first appointment Sam's going to come with. So that's going to be really fun. Anyway, so yesterday I felt awful. So I did some bare bones things work-wise, like bare bones, and that was it. And then to cap it all off, I'm going out of town again this weekend, which the timing is not ideal. Both of these trips are important to me, and I'm glad that I'm prioritizing them, and so thankful for my husband for supporting me and taking them. But having them back to back is not ideal. So last weekend was a football game with my dad, totally out of my control. This weekend was slightly in my control, and it, in the grand scheme of the calendar, it may have been the best weekend. But I'm going to New York to visit a handful of friends that have had babies in the last few months. A couple of good friends of mine have had some adorable, I'm so excited to snuggle the babies. My one friend had baby in July, the other one had a baby in August. And then I was supposed to be going to a friend's baby shower. That baby came very early. Like they were already maybe cutting the shower a smidge close than I would have felt comfortable having a baby shower. But the baby's already here. So I don't know that I'm going to get to see that baby. That baby's actually still in the hospital right now at the NICU. So we'll see. That may just be a drive-by dropping off a present, maybe giving my friend, the mom, a quick squeeze if she's home. But the baby shower is not happening. But that was originally the date. Like the date was chosen based on the baby shower. So it is what it is. I'm still excited to go hang out with my friends that I do get to see and experience a little bit of fall in New York. So that's it. This vlog is literally going to be today and tomorrow. Hence why weekly vlog is in quotes. And now with a like 10-minute intro, I feel like I've made up for what I didn't do the last 2 days. But the first thing I need to get to today is making a plan for today. There's no way I'm going to get every work thing I plan to get done this week done between the chaos of Monday and not feeling well yesterday. So I need to get down on paper, like, what are the priorities that I get to today. Okay, I also just realized that whole time it was zoomed in. I could have been like zoomed out further. But anyway, so here's the status. Before we get to planner mode, here's the status of my Kanban board. Again, I did the bare bones yesterday. There were actually 2 sticky notes here in this square and then 1 here. And those are the things I got to yesterday that got moved over. Everything else is a decision today, whether I'm going to try to get to it today or I'm going to bump it to next week. This has to happen today. Today's planner launch day. The Goals with Laken planner launches today, which is really exciting. It's still available. Like, it's not going anywhere. It just happens to go live today. Community members, and then recording the episode with my sister will actually happen this week. Okay, new negative to my new camera. The like view, the screen where I can like see what's being recorded. It flips around. So when I'm in selfie mode, I can see it. It doesn't flip up and down this way. So I can't actually see what's happening. I set it up so that everything was in the middle, which reminds me like very back to my early YouTube days, because filming on my phone, that's one of the negatives of filming on my phone, is that I can't see what's happening. So anyway, the good news is if I was still doing like very regular planner project, like planner videos, plan with me's, etc., and not just snippets in my vlogs, I would feel very frustrated with that. But anyway, so I mentioned this a handful of vlogs ago. I've been using the Erin Condren Daily Duo, the smaller size. One of the things I've been doing, which is just random, is one thing I do like is that I can carry this planner around. Sometimes I take it downstairs or I take it places. But what I noticed was when I would have it like this, right? And so like today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is still blank, right? This is a day that hasn't happened yet. There was a time, because my house is not always spick and span, is that I took the planner downstairs and this side got, like I put it on the counter and there was something sticky on the counter and it got totally ruined. So what I do when I'm working on a day where the next day is still to be used, this is like one of the extra covers that comes, you know, that have like, they come in sets of 2. And I just stick it in here to protect it so that when I flip it around like this, I can carry it around and it doesn't ruin the backside. Okay, like I said, it is Wednesday. I got up a little bit extra early today so that I could get this vlog all kicked off before my daughter woke up. I mentioned this. Where did I talk about this? It may have been on a community call. I think, yeah, I think that's absolutely where it was. But here, let me tell you a little bit on a vlog. So if you are a mom or you follow a lot of moms on social media, one of the things that they talk about a lot is you should get up before your kids get up and have some time to yourself. First off, I don't like the word should. I don't think we should do anything. If you want to get up before your kids get up to have some time to yourself, great. If you are a night owl and you want to sleep in to the last possible second, also great. What I realized for myself is, shocker, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I am a morning person. I do want to get up and have time to myself in the morning. That is my dream. And there have been phases in my life, sorry, you have to look at my hands while I do this. And there have been phases in my life where that has been a priority. And obviously before kids, I could get up and do as long of a morning routine as I wanted. Nobody was cutting me off. I guess at first it was my 9-to-5 job was cutting me off. And then for a while, then nobody was cutting me off. And then Lila came along and then I had her cut off. And as I got out of the postpartum phase, it got easier and easier for me to get up early and have time to myself before she woke up. And then I got pregnant and then I'm exhausted and I don't have the energy to do that. But what I have noticed is waking up right before she wakes up is not good for me either. I need at least 15. My goal right now when I'm pregnant is 30. If I can get up 30 minutes before she gets up, and that gives me time to drink my coffee, scroll my phone a little bit, change my clothes, get ready for the day, pack any bags that we need to have packed, etc., I feel much better. Today is an anomaly because it's planner launch day and I am treating myself by going to a coffee shop after I take her to daycare. I needed to be able to have everything packed and ready to go. And I wanted to get this vlog all kicked off and planned and whatever. So I got up a little bit extra early today. You could see it was dark behind me. I already did both these things, but I wanted to get them checked off. Also, normally I really like to have my nails done during a plan with me session. But that is not the case. I do not have nail polish on right now. And I haven't gotten around to painting my nails yet. That is something that I do want to get to today. I hesitated saying that, but I do think I want to get to it today. Just because you have to get up early on Friday. Nails done today. Okay. So let's start to go through some plans here. So I will drop her off. The drop-off time is pretty consistent. My girl likes to sleep. They want her there by 8:45 at the latest. You could drop her off much earlier. I usually drop her off at 8:45 because by the time she wakes up and we have breakfast and she gets dressed and we walk there, like it's time. That's it. And then, like I said, I'm going to go to a coffee shop and we're going to do some planner launch stuff. Toggle. There's no way to like set digital downloads on Teachable to launch at a certain time or to like toggle on at a certain time. So I'm going to like just toggle everything on at 9. The emails are set to go out, but we'll do all that at 9. I'll post on Instagram, all the places. Exciting. Then I will do my communication routine. Then like the number one priority today, Laken, that I keep postponing is editing this week's pod episode. And then I'm going to put in parentheses here, upload. I probably won't set that to upload at the coffee shop because the internet is just going to be way too slow. It's not going to be worth the effort. So I need the reminder that like when I get home, I need to get that uploaded. If that's all I get done at the coffee shop, great. But what I will do, likely, I got a new computer back, I think that was January, and the battery life is kind of amazing. I don't take my charging cord with me anymore. I don't fight for a seat near an outlet, which is really convenient. And so I will just work until it looks like my computer's gonna die, and then it's probably time for me to take a break and walk home anyway. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and just like list all of the rest of, actually, let me separate things out a little bit into chunks. So this chunk is like, get this done at the coffee shop, which is fine. These 3 things are like things I really like could get to and need to get to today. So I need to write some sales emails for the next thing happening, which is the goal setting workshops. And then I need to get next week's videos. Sorry if you can hear the truck in the background. I have the windows open because it's just like the beautiful fall weather. But it means you can probably hear the garbage truck. And then prep the pod, although prepping the pod can't really happen until I get it uploaded. But like in my brain, visually, here's the chunk of things happening first thing in the morning at the coffee shop. Here's the next set of work things that like has to happen today, really. Then I'm actually going to write my nails, painting my nails, take a break, come home, paint my nails. And then the other work thing, which was like, you could see a lot of those blue sticky notes, is working on my new bonus. My goal is to launch that mid-November. So it's just going to be a free mini course about goals. If you've been around, it's probably going to be nothing that you've never heard me say before, but it's going to be nice and concise and a free little mini course. If I could just get some work done on that today, that'd be great. We'll see if that really happens. And then because I'm not planning to work tomorrow and then I'm out of town, I am going to plan next week based on what I get done. And then at some point I will go and pick up Lila. That time again is really just how I'm feeling. Like when I'm tapped out of work, she can stay there till 6. I never leave her there till 6. I go get her when I feel like I'm ready to go get her. And then my sister and I are recording the podcast tonight because she has plans tomorrow. And then after we're done with that, my PM routine. So that is what today is looking like. We will see how that goes. If I get all of that done, if I don't, hello from my mom's car. So slight change of plans. I don't know if you could tell, but it's raining outside. So luckily we are borrowing my mom's car while she is in Italy. And so I was able to drive Lila to and from daycare, or to. It is supposed to stop raining, at least based on the weather right now, which I feel like I cannot trust the weather at all. But right now it is supposed to stop raining. I guess I can turn the wipers off so you don't have to listen to them. Anyways, according to the forecast now, it is supposed to stop in time for me to walk to go pick her up. And frankly, like, yes, it saves a little bit of time to drive, but with traffic and one-way streets, like, it really doesn't save that much time. Like, if I think about the time that we pulled out, and not even like pulled out, like, I mean, got to get her loaded in the car seat, right? If I think about the time that we walked out the door versus if we were walking out the door in the stroller and having to deal with the traffic, and it's chaos. And you know, drop her off, and then between one-way streets, I either have to make like a weird U-turn or I have to go out of my way to get home. And then pulling into the parking spot, like we have a parking spot that go like with our house, which is really nice. It's not covered, as you can tell. I'm currently sitting in it, but it exists. So that's really convenient and really nice. But it's still just, I think all in all takes not that much less time to drive her versus to walk her. And I get a nice walk in, but obviously when it's raining, we have done it before in the rain. We put the cover on the stroller and I hold the umbrella with one hand while pushing with the other, and we make it work. But if we have access to the car, like, I'm going to drive. And actually, that is a piece of family news that's coming soon. I have not talked about, I don't think, at all. And I'm not going to go into the details here. It's a long story, and I'll share when we get closer to it and it's a little bit more concrete. I mean, it is concrete, but I feel like just like buying a house, it won't feel concrete until we actually like have the car in our possession. But we are getting a car, but that's a little bit away. My neighbors, actually, they're getting into their car next to us, so that might be a little awkward as I'm filming. Okay, sorry, I just wanted our neighbors to get pulled out. I don't want him to see me vlogging. Anyways, all that to say, slight change of plans in the sense that I'm going to go to a different coffee shop. The plan was originally to go to one that I absolutely love that's much closer to daycare, and sit, and it also has like a nice kind of indoor-outdoor vibe where you can enjoy the weather, but honestly, that's not something I want to do today. So I brought my stuff with me in the car, and as soon as I close out this clip, I'm gonna walk to a coffee shop that's closer to our house, like an umbrella. It's not raining hard enough that I can't walk outside with my umbrella. It was raining hard enough to justify taking the car instead of wrapping up the stroller. So anyways, however many minutes later this rambling was. All right, I'm home earlier than I had originally planned, and not because my computer died, because as you can see, I didn't get that much work done, but because I forgot my headphones. And since I was in a coffee shop, I couldn't do either of the like video things, editing the pod or prepping the videos, but it was a lovely time. That coffee shop is so cute and it's so vibey. It definitely is more of a like hang out and meet and chat with people place. So it is very loud, but it's cute. Anyways, so now I'm home. Of course, I already want to procrastinate editing the pod. That's why I was trying to do it at the coffee shop. But pregnancy brain, I totally forgot to pack the headphones. So I thought I would also show you, this is kind of what my planner looks like midday. In the last video where I talked about this, I don't think I ever showed like an after of a page. But this is how I've been tracking time recently for work instead of the time tracker page that I used to use. If you've watched the video titled How I Plan My Life, and I show my entire planning process from start to finish. In that video, I show a time tracker page, and I haven't been using that. I have just been between my Kanban board and then tracking in my actual daily planner, and then I will go update the spreadsheet at the end of each day. And yeah, that's how I've been doing it, how I've been tracking my time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start my nails. I already grabbed the nail polish out. I might like try to multitask and like edit the pod while I kind of paint my nails, or at least like while a coat dries, edit the pod for a couple minutes before I move on to the next coat. I also feel like when I'm more patient that way and let things dry in between coats, it tends to last longer. So maybe I will do that. We'll see. All right. Nails are painted. I went with like a dark like fall color. It is called Red Rouge is the color that it's called. I talked a lot about Dazzle Dry in last week's vlog. Maybe not a lot, but I talked about it in last week's vlog as the nail polish that I love and use. And I'll leave my link again down below. I just did the link, so I know that what it is, you get 20% off and then I get points back into my account, which I will absolutely spend. So I got my nails all painted, which is lovely. I got 5 through 5 minutes of the podcast. So this is really what I need to do, but it's also lunchtime. So I'm going to continue to procrastinate this and go make myself lunch. Also, it's also really loud. They're cutting pipes because part of the basement reno is moving the laundry. Eek. Hello, happy Thursday. I took my camera with us on our adventures this morning with the intention to vlog it and didn't pull out my camera once. I captured a little bit of B-roll on my phone at a couple times that I'll share, but I didn't pull out the camera. It's just like trying to push the stroller and it's just too many things in my hand. And so yeah, I didn't end up actually vlogging, but let me quickly recap. So Thursday mornings we go to ballet. We typically take the train to ballet as long as the weather cooperates. It's super convenient on both ends of things to just hop on the train. So we do that, and Lila loves taking the train. And so we went to ballet. And then the plan, I feel like I look rough. I feel like as rough as I look. I've had this friend on my cheek for like weeks that I keep messing with, and it's not helping it heal. Anyway, after ballet, the plan was to go to this cute little gift shop that is like Chicago specific to get gifts for all the babies that I'm seeing this weekend. And they have like their main shop that has a couple of different locations, and they typically have like a baby section in this main shop. And there's one of those close to ballet. And then there's one, I'll tell you the name in a second when I like show you what we got. There's one that's in a different neighborhood that has a kids only version of the shop that's got so many cute things. And so when I was talking to my sister last night, she was like, you should go to the like kid one instead of just like whatever kid stuff they have in the small section at the regular one. And I was like, yeah, but the regular one's close to ballet and the other one is like multiple train stops like past our house. And she was like, whatever. And so she didn't care. And so that was the plan. But then the store didn't open till 11. And ballet is over at 10:15. And so we could either like kill time around there, or I was like, well, if we're going to have time to kill anyway, we might as well take the train and like go to the little kid store where they have more choices. And then we still got up to that neighborhood early. And so we popped into Lush, which I haven't been inside of a Lush store in a long time. Gosh, there's so many smells. And they have so many cute things. They already have their Christmas stuff out. I ended up deciding to grab bath bombs for the moms. Like, I knew I wanted to get gifts for the babies, but I got 2 bath bombs for the moms that I'm seeing as well. And then I was really like, they have a Lush advent calendar, y'all, but it is pricey. Ugh. Dream world, but maybe someday. But we really just went in there to kill time because the store we wanted to go to wasn't open yet. And of course, ended up buying something. And so then we went to the store that we wanted to go to, which was so fun because there were so many like moms and babies in there. There was like a mom who was super pregnant. She said that she had just hit her due date this week and was hoping to have a baby any day now. And so it's just like, it's fun to be in that little kid store. But let me show you what we got. Okay, so the store is called Mini Wonder, the kid version. The actual like main store is called Alice in Wonder, but instead of actual like shopping bags, they do these totes, which are so nice. Like, it's not an inexpensive shop. It's like a little boutique kind of store, but like the quality, I have gift wrap, like the quality is just so nice. So this was the tote bag. They had a couple choices, but I love this one because it had this City Kid, which they had this in a sweatshirt form with a bunch of colors, and I was so tempted to buy Lila the pink City Kid sweatshirt, but I resisted. We did not go in there to buy things for Lila. We went in there to buy things for our friends. So I got 2, I basically got them the same thing, but one is for a boy and one is for a girl. And so the girl one has, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you this without like ruining the gift wrapping here. So it's a pajama set. Actually, hang on. Okay, it was easier to pull out the boy one. So it's a pajama set with all these little Chicago things on it, like the hot dog and the flag and then all the different like train stops, and it's super soft. So I got them not in the size that they would wear now because I remember that with Lila. Well, for one baby that I'm seeing, it's her first, and for one baby I'm seeing, it's their second. And so the second probably doesn't need a whole lot of clothes in general. But first off, I find that pajamas are always useful because they need pajamas. And second off, pajamas that are like later sizing, right? You have the sizes that you need now. So these are a little bit bigger sizing wise, so they won't wear them quite right now. But I got they're just like regular footy pajamas. And the girl version has little ruffles on the butt, which is so cute. So she went ahead and put a little initial on the girl one so that I would know that this was the girl one and this was the boy one. And then she gave me 2 gift bags for each of them, which is just so cute. So I'm so excited to get that all put away in my suitcase. But before we get to packing, the guy that was working in the basement already left for the day. So Lila's napping, if that wasn't obvious. That's where we're at in our day. So let me show you the progress they have made. Again, it's Thursday. They started this project Monday morning, which is like, this is just mind-blowing to me. So I think, yep, the light switch situation is different. They have changed the lights. Okay, so they also haven't like unplugged the washer and dryer yet. I may come down here and do a load of laundry. But anyway, so you walk in like from the door and you immediately go to the left, and this is going to be a door into Sam's office. The lights in here are kind of funky. Like that one is a lot whiter, and that one is more yellow. I'm assuming they're going to fix that. I hope they're going to fix that. But this is all like marked off, and they've done all the outlets, all the electricity. I'm pretty sure all the electricity is done. So that's amazing. And then all the framing for the walls, like all the framing and stuff, except for this wall where the washer dryer was. I wonder if they left this plugged in thinking I would use it this week. And like I said, I might get a little laundry done today because I have a feeling starting next week they're going to move it. But yeah, so this is all like mapped out. All the electricity is done. I know, Kitty. I know you're so confused. So then this way, so there's one light switch for Sam's office, and there's a light switch here that does all of these. So this is going to be my storage space, and I'm going to have to figure out, but this is the breaker box, so I can't necessarily like cover everything there. We'll see. I don't know what's going to be the setup here in terms of how I'm going to best utilize this space, but that is our new storage space. And you come over here, and this is our new like laundry space, and I think they did most of the, yeah, like this is all ready to go for the dryer. I really think that they are being very thoughtful with the washer and dryer situation and not like I won't have to be without it for too long, because this is all like, I don't know, the pipes look good. Like I feel like they can just like move the new washer and dryer. I can't remember if I also told you guys that we're getting a new dryer. So as you can tell, this washer is not very old. This dryer looks older than me. And while it works, it totally works, there is always the risk someday, right, that it's going to just stop working. And while we're doing all the work down here anyway, we figured we might as well just like factor in the cost of a new dryer. So we were just getting this guy's friend, which was kind of nice, frankly, because then I didn't have to like really go dryer shopping and like make a decision. If they were both old and we like were deciding to upgrade both of them, it would have been a much more complicated decision. Like eventually when we redo the kitchen, having to pick appliances sounds like my worst nightmare. But if you haven't figured it out, y'all, I'm not a big home decor kind of person. Not big on it. I'm not excited about it. I don't like picking out new things. It's just not my favorite activity. Just not my thing. So this guy is leaving and we're getting this guy's friend. And so they will both fit nicely over here in this corner. And then eventually I will probably get some sort of shelf to go above it to actually like put the stuff on. We'll see. But then this is all like mapped out. All the stuff and everything. I'm just like, I don't know. It impresses me. They've had multiple people down here most of the day. This is the first day that somebody has left like this early in the day. Usually someone was here until 4 or 5 every day, but they have made so much progress and it looks so good. We've picked out the flooring. So I don't know if that's the next step. I don't know what the next step is. Maybe it's moving the washer and dryer. I guess that's going to fit. That's going to be cozy. Like, I guess if you shut the door, it's going to fit around there. I don't know. Anyway, so that is the progress on our basement. I almost sat down on the couch right there to talk to you. And then I was like, that is a bad idea. If I sit down, I'm not going to want to get up. So here's the plan during Lila's nap time. Tidy up. I'm looking at this floor. I don't think I'm going to touch this floor. I may get the handful of things I can see in my vision that are mine on this level. I'm not going to leave Sam and Lila this weekend with like, you know, the house is already kind of in shambles because there's extra stuff out here that's not normally out here. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit. I'm definitely going to tidy up the main floor. I may even try to run Rosie, our Roomba, on that level. And then I'm going to go to the second floor. I'm going to pack, which is, I've probably packed like 50%, and all my toiletries are still packed from last weekend. I'm just going to like leave that, give them a once over. And then hopefully have a little bit of time to rest at the end of that, but we'll see if that ends up happening. And then we're off to the doctor. I'm so excited. We have an anatomy scan this afternoon, which is like just the most exciting. It's probably, I don't know, that first appointment's really, really exciting, but this appointment is really, really exciting. And I think I said this already, but this is Sam's first appointment that he's making it to. I feel like when it's your second, there's not just like, it's not worth him rearranging his schedule to come to the appointments. And so my mom has been going with me to all of the doctor's appointments so far. So he is coming today, not just because my mom's out of town, but he has always said like, I will be there. I want to be there for the anatomy scan. So yeah. So when Lila wakes up from her nap, we'll get all packed and loaded and go to the doctor. Okay, I'm basically packed. I'm out of breath because I just ran downstairs to get these to show them to you. The only thing that's left is I need to try something on. I'm trying to decide between 2 dresses for like a fall dinner that we're going to do. And I got some new maternity tights, like not leggings, but tights. That is the one big negative. Both being pregnant 6 months opposite to what I was with Lila, but also going into the fall and winter. Like when I was super pregnant with Lila, it was the middle of summer and I mostly just wore sundresses. Like that's all I wore. It's definitely tougher going into the winter. Anyway, sorry, you have to stare at my snacks while I tell you this. I didn't want to like try it on right now. I'm going to try it on when I take these clothes off before I put my pajamas on. So I'll do that later tonight. And then I'll be done packing. But one last thing is I'm going to throw these snacks into my carry-on. Well, I'm carrying on my actual bag too, but like my backpack, you know, my under the seat to carry on, in an effort to save a little bit of money and not spend it all on stupid expensive snacks at the airport. I did this last weekend too. I grabbed some of my favorite snacks from Trader Joe's. So this is my all-time favorite snack mix. Like if you've never tried this, it is so good. It is the perfect balance. There's some sweetness to it, like honey, roasted peanuts. There's some spicy things. So good, so good. And then of course, some sort of gummies. Last week I got the fruit ones and this week I got the Scandinavian. These are both good also because they zip up. So I can have some and then zip them up and stick them back in my bag. This one I brought, I'm going to bring a clothespin with me because it doesn't re-zip, but I saw these and was like, I need those too. So I went ahead and grabbed these. I'm going to throw these into my carry-on. All right, I have one more thing I'm going to try to squeeze into this nap, and then hopefully I'm going to get a little bit of rest time in. I'll probably have about 40 minutes until she wakes up. So if I can squeeze this into the next 10 minutes, I get 30 minutes of reading or Netflix or something. So last week, so first off, here's my Kanban board. Here's the status. These are the things I did not get to this week. I actually didn't end up finishing the podcast yesterday. I started this, but then my sister and I didn't end up recording. That's a long story. I'm not going to go into it. So I didn't need to finish it because I'm just going to push that episode next week. It's been kind of, there's just been a lot going on over here. So we've had to miss a couple of weeks here and there. But so these are all the things that yesterday when I was planning for the day, I moved over the stuff that absolutely didn't have to get done. And then here, these were the things that were remaining. And then, there was other stuff too. I did do stuff yesterday, but I went ahead and moved those over. So this is what's left. So I need to get this next week planned out because I fly home super early Monday morning, and I'm going to try to jump right back into work on Monday. Here's a plan for next week. The big piece of next week that hasn't been incorporated is the actual party stuff. When are we going to the store? When are we doing all that stuff? I don't know. Normally when we have a party, I have planned it out much further in advance, but with these 2 trips back to back leading up to this party, it has not happened at all. So that needs to get filled in. I do have Monday, like I said, take an early flight home Monday, trying to get some work done. Lila is going to daycare on Monday so that Sam could start work before I got home from the airport. And then I can work because my mom is still out of town. My mom gets home Thursday, I don't remember. Somewhere around here, my mom gets home. Which reminds me, we do have a show on Friday night. We have tickets to Sound of Music, so that's exciting. Anyway, so that timing worked out, but my mom will be home for that. So I'm going to party plan Monday night, and I'll map out next week. Next week, Laken's problem to figure out when we're going to go and do all the things. But here's at least the plan for next week. The Longhorn game doesn't have a time yet on Saturday, but it doesn't really matter because it's just going to be on during the party. But even if it's an 11 a.m. game, I'm not going to sit and watch the game because I got to be doing stuff for the party prep. So that is the plan for next week. It feels good to have this all done before I head out of town. Okay, hi. I'm sitting in the same spot, but, actually I know I did a lot of clips, but I was sitting here at one point. But it is much later. It's obviously dark outside. We went to our doctor's appointment, and the anatomy scan, everything looks good. Baby boy is strong and healthy, actually measuring quite a bit ahead of his actual timeline. So he is a growing, healthy baby boy, and everything looks good. So they sent me home with my glucose drink. That's my next appointment, which is, if you know, you know. It is not as bad as I feel like people hyped it up to be, but it's definitely not fun. But truthfully, I was with, and I know I explained this, I did a whole vlog for the first 4 weeks of my pregnancy with this baby, before I was vlogging, before I was sharing it publicly. And I talked in that vlog about how for the beginning of my pregnancy with Lila, I was at a practice in New York. We still lived in New York. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was my BMI or whatever, they had me do the glucose test super early, 8 or 10 weeks or something. And when you're at that phase in your pregnancy, now for those who have nausea all the way through, I'm not sure how you deal with it, but I had nausea, severe nausea then. And so drinking it was almost it was bad. And we were in New York, and so I was taking the train to the appointment. I remember sitting on the train with the timer, timing myself to finish the drink. And so I'm hoping this one's not going to be near as bad because it's much later in the pregnancy and I don't feel bad at least as bad as I did at that point with Lila, and I won't be drinking it on a subway. So anyways, okay, Lila's in bed. I would like to be in bed as soon as humanly possible because my flight is pretty early in the morning. So the number one thing I need to do is try on those tights and pick which dress I'm going to pack, and then finish getting all my stuff packed and everything zipped and closed so that it's I'm just going to wake up in the morning, put on a fresh change of clothes, and out the door. Okay, as far as the leggings go, these are the ones I got. They're fine. They're not worth returning and ordering new ones. They don't have as much give in the actual leg parts as I want to. The actual belly part does have a lot of give, but the leg part doesn't. Also, I double sized up. I'm pretty sure I double sized up. So would recommend that for sure. The tights are fine. I will keep them. I don't think this is the dress for me. The dress sits in a funny place, and it always has done that. And so I've always just kind of like pulled it up and worn it with tights. And then it's like, it's okay that it's a little short, but it's like more than a little short with my belly. So yeah, it is not going to be the dress I pack. I will take the other one. The other one is just a smidge too big. I got it in the next size up like last year. It's the one I packed last week for my dad's, to have dinner with my dad. And it's just from Target. And I bought it fall of last year. I think I already told this story. And I sized up knowing or hoping, praying that I would be pregnant. And yeah, actually, truthfully, what I probably should have done is just gotten the XL. I am in like a stretchy dress like this. I probably would wear the large, like regularly, especially at Target. So I probably should have just gotten the XL. It's just a little bit big. Like you can see my bra, like it hangs down. You know what I mean? Like on the arm sides. But if I wear it with a sweater, then it should be fine. So I'm going to pack that. Or I guess I also put the black one out here. And then I also need to pack, these are the gift bags I originally had laid out for my friends, but since the thing I bought that I showed earlier came with gifts, I don't need that. I showed this in the last vlog, and these are all the clothes. I am team, I will buy from your registry, right? You give me a registry, I'm going to buy from your registry. But the baby shower that I was supposed to be going to, which I'm actually really, on my friend, I talked to her earlier today, and I am planning to see her. Her little guy is still in the NICU. So prayers for him. But I am planning to see her and give her gift. She literally asked for books and clothes. That is like normally what people buy at baby showers that you don't want. Like you want them to buy from the registry. And so I would love to just buy her something from a registry, but that's what she asked for. So I got a bunch of cute little clothes. This one, oh my God. I love this one, especially because this reminds me of, what is the name of that song? That was really popular when her and I like first met when we were summer interns in New York. And then these are the books that I couldn't, it originally it said like get a book in place of a card. And I, of course, couldn't just get one. Okay, hold on, let me open it. Basically, the way that I tackled this is I got one book from each of us. So this was Sam's pick, which if you have never read this book, highly recommend. Somebody gifted it to us. Lila loves it. Sam thinks it's hilarious. One of my goals for Hanukkah this year is to get Lila all the other Poetfish books. This is the one for me because this was like one of my favorite books to read to her when she was a little tiny squish. Just like it's so sweet. And then this was Lila's pick. Lila loves this book. So yeah, those are the books that we got. So I need to get all that in the suitcase as well. And then I need to get to bed. And so I'm going to go ahead and close out this vlog here because, again, I feel like I'm looking a little bit rougher than I feel. I mean, I am tired. I'm always tired, though. And I need to get to bed. But, like, the camera and the lighting is not doing me any justice. I'm going to end this vlog here. I know this weekly vlog was literally only 2 days. But that is how this week that's just how this week went. And from this point, I mean, I will be traveling again for Thanksgiving. But at that point, we will be, like, caught up on weekly vlogs enough that I'm going to take a break from vlogging right before we start Vlogmas. So hopefully next week will be more of an exciting vlog as we prep for our Halloween party. But for now, that is going to be the end of this vlog. If you made it all the way to the end, comment below with some sort of baby related emoji. Either a little baby head or like baby bottle, because I feel like this vlog was all about babies. It was either seeing my little peanut in his ultrasound today, or because I'm getting up bright and early to get on an airplane to go see 2 babies and a new mama. So, I mean, I guess I'm seeing 2 new moms. Like I mentioned, one of my mom friends and her little girl, it is her first. And then my friend that I'm staying with is my best friend from college, and this is her second son. Her first son is a month older than Lila. They were due 8 weeks apart. And I remember like telling her, I can't believe I didn't record that moment because it was just so fun. Like telling her, after I already knew, obviously, that she was pregnant. So then being able to, like, tell her that I was pregnant with Lila and we were only 8 weeks apart was just, like, so special. But then he came a week late and Lila came 3 weeks early. So the little ones were only 4 weeks apart in life. And then, obviously, her newest son, he was born in August. So him and this little guy will be more like 6 months apart. But still so fun. I'm excited to hang out with her and her boys and just have some girl time and some I told her I'm here to learn how to be a boy mom and a parent of 2. And she's like, I don't know how much we know after this many months, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm just procrastinating going to bed. if you made it all the way to the end, I would also really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Let me say that sentence again because that was really awkward. Wow, words are really struggling. A new mom. No, sorry, that was wrong. Let me say that again. Um, 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 um,